Welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I am streaming to you live from beautiful Budapest here, the capital city of Hungary, very close to the Danube River. I hope everybody has had a great start to their weekend and is enjoying Saturday. I was. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking me. That feels great. Students, today this class is Speaking Part 2, the cue card. It is a members chat class. Everybody is welcome to join and watch. Of course, we will have an all chat class coming up in about 90 minutes. That will be Speaking Part 3, and that Speaking Part 3 will be connected to this Speaking Part 2. So it's a good idea to watch the lesson and get a better handle on the topics. Hi, Preeti. Good to see you in class. While we wait for some more of our members to join, just a little bit about us. We are a premium online IELTS company. We help thousands of students every week pass their IELTS exams around the world. For our academic packages, check out aehelp.com. And if you are looking for general IELTS help, check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of those sites, we have loads of resources to help you improve your communication, your English, and get those higher band scores. Hi, Priyanka. Hi, Rajveer. Good to see you in class on time. This is what our websites look like. This is the academic website. You can click that big red button to join the premium package, get your My Student account with over 100 hours of video lessons, an interactive course, and practice exams. For the general version of the test, same concept, green background at gieltshelp.com. Click that big red button to join us there. Hi, Hassan. Nice to see more members coming into the class. We'll get going here in just a moment. Again, to all of our viewers, make sure to install our apps on your phone. For academic IELTS, install the Academic IELTS Help app from Google Play, an Apple app. And for general IELTS, install the General IELTS Help app. You can link your app to your web account for an exceptionally dynamic and efficient learning system. Hi, Ferdovs. Students, GIELTS app, the General IELTS app, is fairly new. So if you're having trouble locating it on the store, here is the URL for it. Again, if anybody has questions, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. All right, we have a good number of members in the class, so we'll get going with Speaking Part 2. And again, afterwards in 90 minutes, Speaking Part 3. Which will be, of course, related to Part 2. Here we go with today's Part 2 question. This is speaking, so make sure to speak. Use your voice, even if you are sitting alone or if there are people around, if they don't mind and you're not bothering them, then speak. Speak nice and loud, okay? So, what's step number 1, members? What should you do very first? So the examiner says, okay, here's a card with some questions. Here's some note paper and a pencil. You will have 1 minute to look at the questions, think about your answers, take notes if you wish. And then you will have 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. Go ahead, turn over the card. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. What do you do? So Awaz says, read the questions, okay? Tell me a little bit more. So yes, that's, of course, the right idea is read the questions. Preeti says, read the questions carefully. Which question should you read, or which part of the question should you read the most carefully? Okay, this is a reminder. I mentioned this last week as well, and I'm telling all students to do this. Our software also explains this in the reading or the speaking section to do this. It's a really good idea. The last one is quite important for Dobbs, absolutely. But the most important part of the question is this first component here. Okay? The talk about a creative person who you know. Okay? So, what I recommend students to do is even read this question twice. Okay? So, it's a good idea to read this question or this part of the question twice, because very often students don't pay enough attention to this first part and they go off topic. So in this case, they'll start talking about a creative person, but maybe not somebody that they actually know. Okay, so here it's clearly a creative person who you know. Okay, who you know means personally. So you're not going to be talking about Picasso or Leonardo da Vinci because you don't know them personally. Okay, so pay careful attention to that first one. And then, of course, yes, you're right for Dobbs. The last questions are very important. Often students miss the last question in their response, and that's a big mistake. So pay attention here as well. Okay, the most common places where students make mistakes are with the first statement and with this last question. So extra attention. Okay. All right, so let's read these questions together. Talk about a creative person who you know. Who is this person? What kind of art or activity does the person do? Why do you think they are creative? What have they created in the past, and what do you think they will do in the future? You will have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this topic. You will have 1 minute to prepare your answer. Fantastic. So we read the questions. What's my next step? What should I do next? Or what do I need to recognize next? Okay. So I read the question carefully. Within that, I read the topic statement twice to make sure it's clear. And the last question is important also. All right. So after that, so I have to identify the topic. Just a sec, I'll get you back on camera. It's the ghost in the machine. Times it decides to take a snooze. Not 100% sure why. All right. So, Ferdov says, think about 2 or 3 creative people who you know. Rajveer says, identify the topic. Of always, students, take a moment in your thinking to recognize the category. So, recognize the topic category, which in this case is a person. Okay, so when you're talking about a person, what should you think about? So no matter what the question is, in this case, it's asking about a creative person who you know, and it could be talk about a successful business person, talk about a person who has taught you some important information. There could be lots of different topics about people. Okay. Awaz says, briefly describe the appearance. So, so what they look like, just in a couple sentences. You don't need to spend much time there. So what they look like, so on, Chabi says his appearance, job, hobbies. I don't know about job or hobbies, Chabi, maybe. So let's keep it simpler. So the appearance is one. Good. Preeti says their personality. Absolutely. Yeah. So personality, what are they like? Kind, hardworking, honest, okay, funny. So what are they like? And then Preeti says, and actions, okay? Now, this is the order. Okay, so first describe what they look like, then their personality, and always when you mention any personality, back it up with actions. Okay, one of the most common awkward types of speaking that I hear when candidates talk about people is they just jump around with different personalities. They'll say, oh, my friend Jimmy is super creative. He's funny, he's hardworking, he's very trustworthy, and they just go one personality trait to the next, without giving a clear explanation for those personality traits and showing some examples or saying some examples. That's what you need to do. So an example would be like, he is extremely imaginative. To my friend John, even a simple spoon can suddenly become a magical wand or an airplane filled with food. Okay? So give an example for that. So he is extremely imaginative. Being imaginative is a type of personality trait. It's a type of ability. Right away, I back that up with action. To my friend John, even a simple spoon can suddenly become a magical wand or an airplane filled with food. Okay? All right? So recognize the topic, and then you should do what was suggested by, I believe it was Dobbs, a little bit earlier. Dobbs says, think about 2 or 3 creative people who you know. Okay? All right. So, okay, so who are creative people that you know? Give me some ideas. Okay? So we've read the question, we read the opening statement twice. We paid attention to the last question as well. We realized, okay, appearance, personality, actions, these must be included as I answer these questions. Now I need to think about a couple possible people that I know. Okay, while we talk about that, I'll bring my questions back here. So Rajveer says colleague, friend, aunt, younger brother, sister. Okay, so be careful here, students. If you know someone really who is actually creative because they do a lot of art, that's fantastic, okay? But don't just jump around. It shouldn't just be anybody. So think about creative people that you meet in your life, okay? So Rajveer, why is your colleague creative? Okay. Okay, so it could be a coworker, potentially. Okay, why? Why is your coworker a creative person? Okay. Preeti says, my boss. Sure. Why is your boss creative? It's quite a reasonable answer. Okay, coworker, boss, brother, teacher. Okay. Now here, you have to think about what are examples of creativity. Yeah, Rajveer, very good. So boss, is a good problem solver. Okay, good. Coworker, maybe if you work with computers. Maybe he's an exceptional software coder. Okay. Teacher. Maybe he's excellent at explaining English. Okay, so there are different types of creativity. Yvonne says, my friend who's very good at music, a creative musician. Okay, all right. All right. So those are all some really good examples. Great job, students. So creativity has a lot of different manifestations. A lot of people, I think, might get stuck thinking about just artistic creativity, like painting pictures or drawings, for example. But creativity has a lot of different, as I said, manifestations. It means that people can be creative in solving problems, in teaching a language, in building software, houses, driving a car, riding a bicycle. There are lots of different ways to be creative. Okay? Roshni says, my brother, because he's educated in architecture, so he's creative in architectural design, right? Roshni, very good. Okay, excellent. All right, so I'm going to go with my friend who's a musician for this one. I think a lot of those ideas are really good and they can work for you, okay? And a challenge for later will be to choose your own answer for this, okay? But for now, just so we are all on the same page, let's go with my friend who is creative in music, okay? So we'll choose that one. I think we can all work with that one. Do you agree? Can we all work with this choice together? A friend who is creative with music? Are we all on the same page? Awaz, Ivan, Hassan, Chabi? Yeah? Ready to go? Ferdowf says no. All right, Ferdowf, we have to go with the majority here. So let's just work through this one. This is nice and unique, and it'll work. For Dobbs, you can do your own later, okay? So, but for now, let's go with my friend who's creative in music, just for practice, right? If we all try to do a different topic, then we'll be pulling into 1,000 different directions, and it just won't be as efficient. All right, so my next step is to take some notes, okay? So useful notes. Right, so I identified what I'm going to talk about. Now I need some useful notes. This is all happening very quickly in the 1-minute preparation time. So give me some notes. What would be some useful notes talking about your friend who is creative with music? Visualize your friend, visualize the content. I think you can probably come up with quite a bit of good information here. Make sure that your notes are usable. Okay. So Chabi says guitar instruments. So yeah, people can be very creative playing the guitar. Okay. All right. So he plays the guitar. What else? Give me some notes. Okay, Ferdov says he plays the piano. He's also a singer. Sure, so guitar, piano, singer. All right. Brown hair, well built, big smile. Sure, that was by Preeti. That's very good. Okay, Awaz says motivated person. Awaz, give me an example of motivated person. Okay, so Awaz, usable notes, right? 40 hours a week practice, right? So that would be good. Okay, Rajveer says 6 feet tall. Sure. Keep in mind creative. When you're writing your notes, always think about the main topic controlling idea here, which is a creative person. Okay? Okay, so very precise with his fingers. So Chabi says precise fingers. Sure, precise fingers. That's also called hand-eye coordination. Okay. Okay, Ferdov says won some major awards. Okay, good. So, Europe singer. Okay, good. That's usable notes. Very good for Dovs. Okay. Yvonne says study in music school. There's still one that I haven't seen yet. Maybe some of you wrote it, but I don't see it yet. And I think it would be very, very good. There we go, Preeti. Very good. That's exactly what I was thinking of. So Preeti says writes his own lyrics. Okay. Got selected for Indian Idol and won first prize. Sure. So studied in Cambridge, let's say, School of Music. Just coming up with a name there. And writes his own lyrics. So writes his own lyrics in music, right? So he's a music composer. All right, good. So we've got lots of great information there. Okay. And again, you definitely want to make sure that you're paying attention to the questions as well. Okay, so who is this person? What kind of art do they do? We're thinking about that. Okay, why do we think they are creative? We're talking about that. What they created in the past, what will they do in the future? Maybe a little bit more on that. But I think we've done a really good job on notes so far. So now, of course, the next element is get the first sentence ready. So students, get the first sentence ready. Okay, write your first sentence. And always base your first sentence on the topic statement of the question. So talk about a creative person you know. Okay, write your topic sentence about that. And it's really nice to see, members, that you're getting much faster in your writing and in your thinking for these questions. It's great, okay? And I'm really liking how a lot of your suggestions for the notes are much more usable notes. That's fantastic, okay? So you're realizing that notes should be specific concepts and facts, not just general ideas. So you need to state things like won the European singing tournament or Indian Idol, okay, or he's 6 feet tall. It's nice, specific notes. Good job. Okay, Awaz says, I'm going to tell you about my musician friend who is very creative. Awaz, that's good. Awaz, you don't actually have to say I'm going to tell you about. Just start saying it. So my very good friend Mohammed is an incredible musician and extremely creative person. Okay, so get right into it, Awaz. Chabi says, I didn't even see yours, Chabi, but good. My friend Mohammed is the most gifted person I know, creatively speaking. Okay, Chabi, make sure to get that topic into the creative. Okay, the word creative. Gifted, creative, they're close. Not the exact same. So in this case, you really want to say creative, okay? Rajveer, careful. A creative person who I know is my friend Ranveer. He is an exceptional musician, okay? Preeti says he will have a bright future. Yeah, let's not go to the future yet, Preeti. Ferdov says, One of the most creative individuals who I know or who comes to mind is my best friend, say their name for Dobbs, who is an exceptional musician. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Nice. All right. So, an exceptionally creative person who I personally know is my friend Adam. He is an amazingly talented musician. Okay, so I broke it into 2 sentences. So an exceptionally creative person who I personally know is my friend Adam. He is an amazingly talented musician. And I don't like repeating even words. Individual. All right. Okay, good. So there we have the beginning of our response. All right. Now, give me some more information. So using our notes, using what you learned about clearly explaining and talking about people, give me some sentences to follow with this opening statement. Again, it's speaking, students, so repeat after me. An exceptionally creative individual who I personally know is my friend Adam. He is an amazingly talented musician. All right, give me the next sentence. While I wait for those, I'll read some more. Preeti says, a creative person who I know is my dearest friend John. Preeti, it's a great opening sentence. Hassan says, as a creative person, Jim directly comes to mind with no doubt. He is an amazing musician. Okay, Hassan, good. I like how you're changing your diction. It's good. Jumps into my mind. Jumps into my mind. Jumps to mind. Comes to mind, Hassan. Yvonne says, I'd like to talk about my friend Stas, who is a very talented person. I've known him since we were kids. Good, Yvonne. Nice opening sentence. I like how you're throwing some present perfect in there right away. Roshni says, my nearest and dearest friend Kate is an expert music composer who I have known for the last 5 years. Roshni, careful with the end of that sentence. Preeti says he is a great musician and he has been playing the guitar, piano, and singing since 2012. Let's make it a little bit longer, Preeti. Let's make it like since 2000. Okay. So, and this is nice because we're using the present perfect right away, right? So he has been learning to play the guitar and piano from the age of 3. Not only this, but he is also a singer and music composer. All right, sure. Now, before that, it is a good idea to say a little bit about his appearance. Why talk about the appearance early? So that your listener, in this case your examiner, can have an image of your friend in their mind. And you're also using your notes. It's awkward to explain their appearance later on. So you'd want to explain it a little bit earlier. Brown hair, well-built, big smile, 6 feet tall. All right? So he's an amazingly talented musician. Adam is 26 years old, about 6 feet tall, with brown hair, and always a smile on his face. Also, he has big hands which are an added benefit since he plays the guitar and piano. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's go through this and we'll keep adding on. There's some great suggestions there. I'll look for those. I see Chabi's got something similar also. So speak with me nice and loud. An exceptionally creative individual who I personally know is my friend Adam. He is an amazingly talented musician. Adam is 26 years old, about 6 feet tall, with brown hair and always a smile on his face. Also, he has big hands, which are an added benefit since he plays the guitar and piano. He has been learning the guitar and piano from the age of 3. Not only this, but now he also is a singer and music composer. All right, some nice sentences. Hassan says Adam is 27 years old, Caucasian face. I don't think that's important, Hassan, but sure. 187 centimeters tall. He was born here in my neighborhood, and since he was a child, his dream has been to become a famous musician. Okay, Hassan, good. Yeah. I don't think ethnicity is too important to discuss in describing a person, but whatever you feel like, it's fine. Roshni says, not only did he study music at Arizona University, but also he is very creative. All right, Roshni. We're definitely going to need to get into his creativity. That's what the question is about. Priyanka says, not only can he play the guitar, but he is also a great singer. Good. I like how you're using your correlative conjunctions, Priyanka. The not only, but also. All right, what can I do after this? So again, remember, we're talking about creativity. Good. So Ferdov says he was awarded many times domestically, not only domestically, but also internationally. Okay. I'm going to use that for Dobbs. That was a good suggestion. So he has been awarded many times for his musical talent, both domestically and internationally. Most recently, winning the, what did we have in our notes? European Top Singer Award. Sure. So whatever you come up with. These don't have to be real awards. You can just make them up. Just make sure you're using your notes. Very good. So he has been awarded many times for his musical talent, both domestically and internationally. Most recently, winning the European Top Singing Artist Award. Okay, good. Give me some more information. Use your notes. Let me go back to the notes here. Okay, Chabi says one of his advantages is his precise use of his fingers with the guitar, which makes the instrument flow softly for the ears of the listener. Okay, good. So his lyrics, yeah, we want to use those words from our notes and the topic, the creativity. His lyrics are very imaginative and often tell exciting tales of adventure and love. In addition, the music which he composes is exciting to listen to, especially when he is playing the guitar. He has precise finger movement, which makes the sounds crisp and easy to listen to. All right, good, yeah. So get into that creative part of it. Yvonne says he plays on his guitar like a god. It stuns everyone who listens to his songs. And he has a very attractive voice. Very nice, Yvonne. Sure, we can use that. So some people have even referred to him as a god of the guitar. And his voice is also very attractive. He certainly has many fans who adore him. All right. Excellent. Rajveer says he can play 10 different guitar melodies in just 5 minutes, which is extremely difficult. Good. So those are some really nice pieces of information, students. Just make sure you're connecting them. Okay. Priyanka says, I like his extremely motivational personality, practicing 40 hours in a week, which makes him most deserving of these awards. So students, these are all good suggestions, and I'm really enjoying how you're going into a lot of description and detail about his skills and talents. Just remember that the topic of this part 2 is creativity, right? So talk about a creative person who you know. The more you focus on the concept of creativity, the better off you are, okay? So don't get sidetracked and start talking about his musical skills so much that you forget to discuss how he is actually a creative person, okay? So here, I would say something like, in the last 5 years, he has written about 20 new songs, which are all very creative and well received by his fans, okay? Or followers, if I don't want to repeat fans. All right. Okay, so far so good. Let's go over this one more time, members, from the top, and then be careful, okay? So make sure that you keep in mind your goal here is to get a high band score for the IELTS exam. So repeat after me, okay? An exceptionally creative individual who I personally know is my friend Adam. He is an amazingly talented musician. Adam is 26 years old, about 6 feet tall, with brown hair, and always a smile on his face. Also, he has big hands, which are an added benefit since he plays the guitar and piano. He has been learning to play the guitar and piano from the age of 3. Not only this, but now he is also a singer and a music composer. He has been awarded many times for his musical talent, both domestically and internationally, most recently winning the European Top Singing Artist Award. His lyrics are very imaginative and often tell exciting tales of adventure and love. In addition, the music which he composes is exciting to listen to, especially when he is playing the guitar. He has precise finger movement, which makes the sounds crisp and easy to listen to. Some people have even referred to him as a god of the guitar, and his voice is also very attractive. He certainly has many fans who adore him. In the last 5 years, he has written about 20 new songs, which are all very creative and well received by his followers. Okay, that's nice fluency, band 9 level response so far, all right? Now, before we get out of control here, we're talking for a good amount of time. And I see that Hassan, Firdavs, and Ivan have some more good opinions to add. So Hassan says, on the international level, he has composed one of the most popular songs for the movie The Last of the Mohicans, which is from Scottish tradition. Sure, so those are details. But again, students, at this point, you want to go back and check your notes, see if you missed anything. Okay, so motivated, 40 hours a week, studied at Cambridge. Sure, so we can use those even. But before we say anything else, very importantly, let's go back to the questions. Have we answered all of these questions? Have we answered, who is this person? Yes. He's our friend. He's 27 years old, 6 feet tall. Okay. What kind of art or activity do they do? We've answered that. Music, playing the piano, writing songs. Why do you think they are creative? We answered that. Beautiful music, very good at playing the guitar, great singer. What have they created in the past? We just said that, about 20 popular songs over the last 5 years. Now, what do you think they will do in the future? Don't forget elements of the card. It's very, very important. Okay? So, let's focus on this question. What do you think they will do in the future? Okay? So, Firdavs says, in my opinion, he is a creative person because he's the only individual who has composed and won awards more than 15 times around the world. Okay. So what will he do in the future for Dobbs? Ivan says he is a leader of his rock band and he writes all of the lyrics and music for most of the songs. Tabulates? I'm not familiar with that word, Ivan. Tabulates. Music tabulates. I can guess what that is. Satisfying Time says, lately I've heard that a movie producer from Hollywood invited him to contribute to a new incoming movie because he is so good at what he does. Yeah, students, that word is score. Score the movie. So when a person writes the music for a movie, we say the person does the music score for the movie. The music score. Just like scoring a goal in soccer, but it's a different definition. Okay? Firdavs says his creativity will be useful for fans not only these days, but also a century in the future, like the Beatles. Okay, so he's going to be a music and rock legend. Rajveer says he is planning to work with a prominent music composing company to record his songs and become famous worldwide. Preeti says in the near future, he will sing and play for Hollywood movies and win more international awards. Okay, so I truly think that Adam has a very bright and successful music career ahead of him. In fact, I just heard that some Hollywood producers have invited him to do the music score for a new blockbuster next year. Clearly, Adam's creativity is recognizable in his songs and lyrics, as well as reflected by his growing popularity. All right. So that's the concluding kind of sentence to my speaking. All right. The examiner will likely stop me around there. If not, I might say one or two more sentences to expand, but that's quite good. Okay, that's quite good. Hassan says, in the future, he is going to produce a new genre of music, which is mixed traditional music with technology to compose a new piece of art. I believe in the near future, he will be a recognized pioneer in the field of music. All right, Hassan, some great ideas. I did a bit of real-time correction there. Okay. Awaz says, in my opinion, he will become an outstanding musician and hopefully write more lyrics which will be adored by people everywhere. Okay. All right. Members, really nice job. Good for you. Fantastic. Okay. What's really important, and I want to emphasize this again, is when you are responding to the cue card, it's absolutely key to focus on the topic, creative person. So what happens a lot of times is students begin by he's a creative person, but then kind of go off topic. Always come back to this creative, imaginative person, okay? Throughout. Here we go, students, one more time. Speak and repeat. All right, speak and repeat. An exceptionally creative individual who I personally know is my friend Adam. He is an amazingly talented musician. Adam is 26 years old, about 6 feet tall, with brown hair, and always a smile on his face. Also, he has big hands, which are an added benefit since he plays the guitar and piano. He has been learning to play the guitar and piano from the age of 3. Not only this, but now he is also a singer and music composer. He has been awarded many times for his musical talent, both domestically and internationally, most recently winning the European Top Singing Artist Award. His lyrics are very imaginative and often tell exciting tales of adventure and love, so coming back to creativity. In addition, the music which he composes is exciting to listen to, especially when he is playing the guitar. He has precise finger movements, which makes the sounds crisp and easy to listen to. Some people have even referred to him as a god of the guitar, and his voice is also very attractive. He certainly has many fans who adore him. In the last 5 years, he has written about 20 new songs, which are all very creative and well received by his followers. I truly think that Adam has a very bright and successful music career ahead of him. In fact, I just heard that some Hollywood producers have invited him to do the music score for a new blockbuster next year. Certainly, clearly, Adam's creativity is recognizable in his songs and lyrics, as well as reflected by his growing popularity. Okay. All right. So, any questions about that, members? So, any questions about this response? Notice how we came back to the concept of being creative and imaginative at least 3 times, 4 times in the response. That's very important for the examiner to say that, yeah, okay, this student clearly got that card, answered on topic. Okay, so keep coming back to the concept on the card. Don't get lost. Any questions? Yeah, Chabi says, and your 2 minutes is up. I'm going to stop you there. Can you please give me the pen and the paper back? And now we will continue with part 3. Yeah, that was about 2 minutes, I would say, if you're nice and fluent. Okay. Any questions about that, members? Awaz says, do they cut the time? If you're speaking fluently, Awaz, and you're not repeating yourself and you're not going off topic, they should give you the 2 minutes. Sometimes examiners will interrupt candidates under 2 minutes when they feel like the student is really stuck, they're not really talking, the situation has become very awkward, they feel like there's just a lot of repetition, and my friend is very creative and he plays the piano. Did I mention he also plays the guitar? So if the examiner feels like, okay, there's no new information coming, then they'll just stop you there. There's no point for them to hear the same ideas again and again. So, but if you're saying new information, if you're being fluent, and you're staying on topic, they'll give you the 2 minutes, Awaz. So that's a good question. Roshni says, if our answer's on topic, but our grammar is messed up a bit, do we lose bands? Yes, Roshni, you can, but it's not terrible. So if your grammar doesn't make comprehension difficult, so if I can still understand what you're saying, even with some slight grammar mistakes, you won't lose many marks for that, okay? But definitely be careful not to make big grammar mistakes where it becomes difficult to comprehend or understand what you're saying, okay? Ferdav says, I don't think we answered the last question precisely. I'm not sure. I think for Doves it's okay. So what have they created in the past and what do you think they will do in the future? So I think we did that for Doves because we said that in the last 5 years, it's very specific quantitative language. He has written about 20 new songs, which are all very creative and well received by his followers. And we're saying that he has a very bright and successful music career ahead of him in the future. You could say more for Doves if you have a bit of time, but that's enough to answer those questions, all right? Hassan says, in speaking, I think it's hard to speak, and at the same time, many mistakes happen. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Hassan. That's where, of course, practice becomes important to improve your accuracy and your flow. Okay, I agree. Awaz is saying, can I get 7 or more with just normal everyday vocabulary? And Ferdav says, sure you can, Awaz. Yeah, absolutely, you can, Awaz. So a lot of students think they need to use some really rare English vocabulary to get 7 or more. It's not true, Awaz. It's more important to be accurate, clear, coherent, and fluent. If you're those, so if you're speaking fluently, clearly, coherently, accurately, you can still get 7 or more even, just using fairly common everyday English vocabulary. Okay. All right, students, that is the end of the speaking part. Okay, so speaking part 2. Now we will continue with speaking part 3 in 30 minutes. And of course, those questions will be connected to the speaking part 2. So for everybody watching, make sure to join our premium packages, aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for the general. Okay. All right, everyone. Wonderful job. Good job, members. See you in 30 minutes for speaking part 3, which is talking about creativity in more detail with some specific questions. Bye for now. See you soon.